Oh my word. Second take of this video because I just did 11 minutes of delicious waffle and then I realised I had my credit card on the table next to the keyboard, which wouldn't have got you very far because there's hardly any money on it, but there you go. Okay, so this is the Kinesis Gaming Edge RGB keyboard. And the model number, if you're interested, which you may or may not be, is the KB975-BLU. Anyway, don't know why they got blue on the end, but there you go. So this is a quite an expensive 200 quid keyboard. That's what it costs buying it on Amazon Prime. And it's really well made. It's heavy. It's got cherry mechanical switches. I went for the blue ones. If you're not unfamiliar with cherry mechanical switches, they're a different type of actuator which is inside each key. They're a little switch, and you can get them in different color codes, and each different color code has a different kind of feeling to it. So your brown ones are quite a loose feel. Red ones again are quite loose, but they've got like a click, a tactile click when you push them, but very little resistance. And these blue ones, they have a little bit more resistance, which I quite like actually. It kind of cushions your finger on the way down, because I'm quite heavy fingered when I'm typing. And so I quite like the blue switches. Haven't had those before. So let's just have a quick look at the actual makeup of it. So you've got these delicious wrist supports, which are like so comfy. Might get a bit clammy in the summer, I guess. And I expect this PU plastic, leather effect plastic, is chock full of phthalates, which are not a great chemical, but there you go. Not much you can do about that. It's got a nice braided cable here which connects the two sides together, and the same here which goes down to a USB socket, standard USB, like old school ones. And on the back of here there's something which looks like a battery cover, and if you let's try and turn that right round, there you go. Battery cover, if you take that off, there's more cable coiled up inside, so you can extend the two halves way apart. So I have mine spaced about an A4 sheet of paper apart, which is about right for my shoulder width. So the reason I swapped to these keyboards, and I wouldn't advise doing it unless you've got a good reason for doing so, or got plenty of time to basically relearn how to type, is because I've got repetitive strain injury in my left shoulder, or radial nerve to be more specific, and I think that's come about from being bunching up over a normal keyboard, which is quite narrow. Obviously, if you're a big Western guy with, you know, broad shoulders, then if you're working on a standard keyboard, then you're going to be like bunched up a bit. And so I figured I'll give this a go, see if it helps. Some people have said that it does, but there you go. So I'm a bit of a fan of just trying stuff rather than reading up on it too much, because sometimes you can be pleasantly surprised. So let's have a look at the keyboard. So first thing you notice about it is, well, I did anyway, it doesn't have a number pad here, which is pretty annoying. But then, to be honest with you, the whole process of relearning to use this has been super duper annoying. I started using it on Monday, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I was pretty much tearing my hair out. I didn't realise that basically I sit here with my left arm, okay, and my left arm is doing escape, control, and shift, and tab. That's about it. and my right arm has been doing everything else. So now I've got this split up, and my left hand has got this whole domain to cover here. I mean, I just realised that I haven't been using my left hand at all, and it could be part of the problem because maybe it's got stiff from underuse or something, and I do tend to like lean on this side because I don't use it very much. So who knows? But it's been really frustrating. It's been a busy week, and I've been trying to dash out emails as per usual, and blimey, I've been tearing my hair out. Anyway, so let's have a look. So we've got fairly normal layout. There's a few things budged around. You've got these, end page up keys sort of lined up then down there. But everything else isn't too far off where it normally is. And you've got these your normal F keys on the top. These all come pre-programmed for use with this function key. So you've got these are pre-programmed for like multimedia use. You can see turning your volume up and down and that sort of thing. So on this keyboard you've got effectively 3 different types of shift key which enable secondary uses on pretty much any key you like, because you can reprogram any of the keys for secondary functions or primary functions, which is probably quite handy if you're a gamer or certainly a programmer and you've got like codes to put in and things. And also I'll show you on the software, you can record macros, so you can basically type a whole bunch of keys. It's stored in the keyboard, and then all you have to do is press the function key and any letter, or one of these speed dial ones along the side here, and it will just redo your macro for you. So I've set a couple of very basic ones up because I'm still really trying to find out what I could use that for, to help me out in my day-to-day kind of officey environment. I generally just do type documents. I do run various types of software. I don't really know. I'll have to try and identify where there might be some time savings to be made by using macros. But there's certainly some sentences or phrases which I type out 10, 20 times a day, and I've already started to pick up on a few of those and store them on these buttons on the side, which is pretty sweet because you just press a button and boom, it just types a whole sentence out for you. So you'll notice the keys are different colours. That's all programmable. I'll show you that in a minute. What I've done here, I've got various, because I've been struggling a bit, I've colour coded the various keys to try and help me decipher, so I can kind of see it more clearly out of the corner of my eye. These are letters, those are numbers. Left hand, please behave yourself and press the right button. I've reprogrammed this big button here, which I'm not really sure that's for, as an escape key, because like most keyboards have their escape key in the top left hand corner, and I instinctively keep hitting that as the escape key. So now I've got 2 chances of hitting an escape key in that corner, so that's doubled the chances of that. You've got a button here for turning the backlights on and off, but why would you want to do that? You just wouldn't want to do that, would you? Standard Windows key, all that sort of business. This is, I think, a US layout, but in terms of the way the keys are labelled, but it's got its UK layout in terms of when you press a 3 you get a pound sign, that sort of thing, or when you press a 2 you get speech marks. So I've had that on keyboards before, and that hasn't really caused too many problems. Anyway, let's have a look at the software. I'll see if I can open that up. And, oh, that's good timing. Hi, Cat, have you come to mess everything up? Jeez, man. Your timing is dreadful, Zeus. What are you doing in here? How did you open the door? Yeah, that's right. You just get right up in the business, man. Jeez. Right. Right, what are we gonna keyboard here? Key. Ow, ow, ow! Stop clawing me. Keyboard. Smart setup. Key. Sorry, I'm having to work around the cat. He sat right in the middle. That's a disadvantage of this keyboard, isn't it? Look, you can get a cat sat in the middle. I didn't used to get that with my other one. Right. So here we go. So this is the software. It does for 2 different keyboards. That trendy looking one there, or this trendy one looking here. So you click on that one here, that opens it up. And then, so let's have a look what we've got. So here you've got layout down here, macros. So you've just got 3 programmed here. I'll just show you one of those in a minute. So we'll open up a text document. So when I press these keys here, okay, it does a bunch of typing. So this one here, I must type "please find attached" like 50 times a day. Sorry, cat, but you can't do that. I must type that 50 times a day. So I thought, well, I'll do that in a macro, and then if I remember to, I can do that. And then also I've got this one here, which is like when you start an email, you know, oh, I've got the caps lock on. Oh, I didn't know it did that. Right, okay. Let's, so if you've got the caps lock on, that affects your macro. So we'll do the caps lock off. But yeah, so do that there, and then you don't have to type the start of the email every time, which, you know, is going to save me 2 minutes every day. But that's like, you know, enough to watch a couple of films or something over the course of a year, isn't it? So anyway, so that's the macros, and obviously you could do all sorts of wonderful things with those. And then we'll go back to have a look at this. Full keypad, what's that? What's that? Full keypad, alternate layouts. What does that do? Oh, I see. So this is, there's no keypad, right? So what you can do, if you click on this, right side, should I do this or not do this? Let's do it. Oh dear. No, I won't do that. So basically what it does, because I looked it up in the instruction book, just for you guys. So what you do, if you press F7, that's like a num lock, right? Okay. And then what happens is the keypad is in this area here, or you can have it over the other side. So, but here makes sense because you've got 7, 8, 9 here already, just like you would on a standard keypad, right? And then you go down 3 below that are 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. I think that's probably 0. And then up here, up here you've got plus minus time symbols, but you got to remember all those, because, or write them on the key with Tipex or something, which will look pretty duff, won't it? I wonder if you can get, but I thought really they could have supplied, being the cost of this, which is like 200 quid or something, they could have supplied some keys which actually had the numbers, maybe just little, you know, like, and all the other ones with secondary functions had the numbers there, because I've seen that on laptops before. So, but then I guess where do you stop? So anyway, so this keyboard has got your normal shift key, right, which you use for normal shift kind of stuff. It's also got a function key, which we've talked about, okay, which acts like a shift key in terms of activating another profile, okay. you can use the lights to indicate what profile you're using. So as well as being pretty, they can actually signal what profile you're using. But then as well as this shift key and this function key, which gives secondary lights, you've also got this bad boy up here, which when you press this one, this does these secondary functions along here. So what have I used it for so far? I've used it for reset. I had a problem where somehow one of my macros ended up being activated when I did Shift P, and it would do typing, and I don't know how it got on that key. I must have pressed something by accident. Couldn't get rid of it. So on the back of the keyboard there's some like very, very short instructions printed out, and one of them is how to clear all the macros. So I think you press Shift, that one, and Enter or something. Oh no, Shift, yeah, no, the normal Shift key, this button here, which is kind of like a Shift key, and then the F12 reset button, and then that clears all the macros off the keyboard, which is quite handy if you get in a pickle. What else can we talk about? We haven't had a look at the lighting effects. So, well, hang on, I can show you something here. So this button here, profile, that stores, you've got 9 profiles which you can store. So the profiles are what the name suggests, they're profiles, but they store different sets of macros, key remaps, and lighting colors all together. So say if I was like programming, I could have like profile 1, which might be for my typing emails and stuff. I might have profile 2, which is like for programming, which might have all like various keys remapped to little code snippets or something, which I use from day to day. And then you might have profile 3, which is like your gaming profile. You might like have, you know, light up your WASD keys here and, you know, control button or whatever you're using. And so, and each of those profiles, as well as having different key functions, can also have different lighting. So it's quite cool in a way, because the lights indicate what setup you're using, which is nice. So here we go. This is my profile, which I use all the time. If we press the profile button, we go on to profile 2, which is, I haven't set this up, this, the keyboard came with it already configured, which is some kind of matrixy type, I think they call it green rain or something. And then if you go to profile 3, that's like an RGB kind of blendy kind of, you know, it just gradually changes from color to color. But my macros, which I have on profile 1, which I showed you with the typing, they won't be on this profile, because this profile has its own set of macros, I think. So it's not just about the lights, it's about all the other stuff. So there you go, back to my color-coded one. So how you set the lighting up, we'll just have a quick whiz through here. It comes pre-programmed with, you've got your 3 profiles, which I showed you on this button, but there are also 9, you can access them through the number keys. So you've got 1 to 3 here, but then by pressing the swirly shift key and any of the numbers, you bring up another profile. So you've got 9 profiles altogether, and you can change the lighting on each. So we'll have a look at the lighting here. So you can see how all the keys are coloured corresponding, unsurprisingly, to what colour they come out on the thing. I'll just move that over a bit. And say you wanted to colour the caps key in orange, you just click on orange, click on the caps key, then you can change the colour to green. If you want the space key green, like that. There's also button groups here you can do, so you can like do the whole number row a particular colour, or the function row, all that sort of business. And they've got WASD there as well. If you're a gamer, you can put that on. So yes, that's pretty good. Buttons along the top, you've got a help button, that's just like links to websites and stuff, instruction manuals, got export for diagnostic stuff, firmware updates. So when you made your changes on here, you have to save them, okay? And what will happen then is it will save whatever you've changed on there, whether it be macros or lighting or whatever, and it will save it on the little V drive, it's called, in the keyboard, which I guess is just like a little memory stick buried in there somewhere. And then nothing will happen. You have to then reload the profile, and then you'll see your changes come out on the keyboard, and you can go about using it. So what do I think of the keyboard? Well, it's a lovely bit of kit. It's really well made. It feels nice to use. The wrist supports are really comfy. I kind of like the programmability of it, and I think that might actually be slightly useful in time. I like the fact that it feels solid when you use it. I like the mechanical switches. Kind of got used to that over the last few years using my other keyboard. Getting my left hand to do what I tell it to do has been really challenging and pretty frustrating, but there you go. So yeah, all in all, pretty good. But I mean, my productivity has taken a real dive this week, and if you're busy, I wouldn't just do this for a frivolity. I would just stick to your normal keyboard, because I just wouldn't bother unless I had some really good reason for doing it. I mean, if you're like, young and you've got bags of time, well, not, that's a bit of a generalisation, sorry, but if you've got loads of spare time on your hands, then, why not? But I think it's, a bit of a pain to swap if you're short of time. What else can we talk about? I think I've covered everything. Have I? Yeah, I think so. We've got all the different buttons. We've done those. We've talked about the lighting. We've done all the little buttons. Profiles, we did that, didn't we? Macro, so you can record, rather than record a macro on here. Layout, lighting, layout, macro. So what you can do, you can type your macro in here. You select a key, okay, boom, all right, and then you type in what you want to come up here, okay, right, then you click the tick mark like that, and then now that macro is on key 5. Boom, done. Over here as well, you've got various things which a Windows combination macro. What's that then? No. What copies it as a macro? Code trigger. So I don't really understand what this code trigger business is, right? But I think that's what you can have, as well as just having a macro assigned to a key, you can also have different macros on the same key by using a code trigger. I think that's how it works. So potentially there, look, you've got 6 different code triggers. So you could have 6 different macros on one key using a different code trigger for each. I mean, how the hell do you remember what you put on what? I don't know. But if you use the same thing over and over again, I suppose you might after a while. But that for me is probably not going to be used, but some people might. Display 1, 2, 3, I don't know what that is. Yeah, so You can also, if you don't want to use the software, I just want to do it quickly, you can use this button here. You just press the macro button, and then you press the key you want to put the macro on, and the light will start flashing at a different rate. And then you just type your macro, press macro again, and it's stored. Okay, so you can reprogram any key you want using that button there without opening the software. Remap, don't know really. I think you can swap no, I don't know. What's the difference between macro and a remap? What's the difference? I suppose a remap is you just change the key, what the key does, like its primary function, whilst the macro is stored in a different layer. Sorry, I don't know. But there's some other functions I've come across here, which are, there's a status one here. What is this? Status. If you press this, it'll like print out a little kind of status thing. I'm not really sure what use it'll be, to be honest with you. So that if we, oh, not that one, that's got stuff in it. There you go. So if we press the this swirly shift key here and the status, it prints out information about the keyboard. What good that is, I don't know. So what else have we got? I think that's really is it, guy. We've done this one, turn it on and off. Yeah, I think we've done that, haven't we? Macro keys, don't know what that one does. That's it. Anyway, so I think I've covered everything. If you've got any questions, please put them in under the video, because I will get back to you about them if I know the answer, and if I don't know the answer, I'll say as much. I'm not gonna say that I do know. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry it got a bit slow going at the end, but if you're still here, cheers, and I hope you found this slightly useful. All the best. Bye.